What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So I wanted to come on here and do this separately because YouTube playing games. But I just didn't want my what it is video for this week to be so heavy. And it's a subject that we really need to talk about. Unfortunately, that we continue to need to talk about, and that is what's going on with these mass shootings that's been happening lately. Um, it's very, very unfortunate. And we can get on here and, be saying the same exact thing. It's unfortunate. Condolences to the victims. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And it gets to a point where we're just becoming redundant. And it's tiring to become redundant coming on this camera or, having to, log on to the internet, whether we on social media or whatever, and hear and see these same things being said about the same situation, and it just keeps happening and keep happening and keep happening. For those who don't know, which I don't understand how you don't know, over the weekend, I believe it was either Friday or Saturday, either way, there was a shooting that happened, a mass shooting. First of all, let's just take it back. Let's just take it back because a shooting happened earlier in the week, last week, at a garlic, I think it was the weekend, garlic festival that was going on in Gilroy, California, I believe, and where I think at least 3 to 6 people got killed, but at least two of them people was kids. Two of them people was kids, and one of them was literally like a baby. Okay, almost. Okay, he was turning 3 or 4 years old. I still consider that a child, a baby. And all they were doing were going to a garlic festival that is the highlight of their year, whatever. And people can't even do that. Then you have this mass shooting that happened in El Paso, Texas, at a Walmart, where over 26 people were injured and like 20 people were, killed. And I'm not even going to give light to these shooters' names because it's bad enough that they're getting attention for the simple fact that they did this. And that's what they want. They want us to get on camera. They want us to talk about them. They want their names to be out there. That's part of why they do this stuff. And I figured that out. Okay. And we give that to them because they know that we have to talk about it because it's gonna bring up an issue and we have to mention them. And therefore, people still talking about them. They don't care if it's good press, negative things, good things. They don't care, okay? Because if they did, they wouldn't have did something like this. And that one, all of these are deeply personal, but the Walmart one, then, like a few hours after the Walmart thing happened, shooting happened, we had the whole thing with the Dayton, Ohio, where a popular bar district or whatever, entertainment district, got shot up, where it was a bar. And then the freaking shooter wind up killing his own sister in the process, his younger sister in the process. Now, we still trying to figure out what was the motive for that, okay? I have yet to see what they said about the motive for that, or if they even knew. They trying to figure out, did he even know his sister was going to be there? Was it intentional? 9 out of 10, it probably wasn't intentional. He came in, and see, this the thing. It hit me because I'm not a party type of person. I don't go to clubs and stuff like that. I rarely do. If I do, it's very once in a blue moon, okay? And so that didn't really hit me, but it still hit me in a sense that I have friends that always go to clubs and stuff like that. And it's like, you can't even go party that. It was reminiscent of what happened at Pulse nightclub when, people were just going out there trying to celebrate them, be them, and then have fun. And they got shot up and most of them didn't come back home, or most of them came home damaged. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to another bar that was mixed around and the same thing happened. 9 people get killed. Okay. Over 20 people get hurt, and it's irritating to speak about. Okay. The one with El Paso, Texas, I'm not saying that one is worse than the other, but the one with El Paso, Texas really hit me hard because of the simple fact that it happened at a Walmart. And I ain't even trying to be funny, but listen, Walmart is my go-to store. Some of y'all go to Target, aka Target for, the others that don't know, what I'm talking about. But some of y'all and go to Target. Baby, I go to Walmart because Walmart cheap. You know I'm a frugal bitch, okay? That's what I am. Frugal as hell, you know? And say what you want about Walmart. Walmart be having some deals and I get everything that I need from out of there. And I'm just sitting here like, my family go to Walmart all the time. I go to Walmart all the time. And you mean to tell me that we are not safe to go shopping? It's one thing not being safe to go to a movie theater. It's another thing not being safe to go to a freaking school. It's another thing to not be safe going to a festival. It's another thing to not be safe going to a concert. It's another thing to not be safe going to a bar. Now we can't be safe going to a freaking shopping. We can't go about our day to day getting our daily amenities and things that we need to sustain our bodies to get through the day, get through our life or whatever, without having fear that somebody's gonna come in for whatever reason and just start shooting without regards to anybody. That is irritating and that pissed me off so much. And that hurt. That hurt. Okay. And I don't care what your agenda is. I don't care how you feel about this and how you feel about that. That does not give you the right to just pick up a gun and to go in and to just start shooting people. What have these people done to you? Absolutely nothing. You don't know these people personally. These people have stories to tell themselves. They have family. Okay. And that is what, especially when the young ones get killed and then when the older ones get killed, it's like they live so long, and for them to go out like this, and then you got the young ones who get killed, they haven't even began to live yet, or they're just starting to, experience life and what it's about or whatever, and you took that away from them because of what? This man had a fucking manifesto that basically, championed Donald Trump, the KKK, the white supremacists, the nationalists, and all this stuff. And he was all for, killing people of Mexican or Hispanic descent, mostly Mexicans. Okay, and where have we heard this at? Nobody. And you can get in your feelings and say that, oh, he's not a purporting he's not out here trying to promote racism, or he's not out here trying to do this and trying to do that, but this is the stuff that came out of Donald Trump, philosophy, his policies and his thoughts and his rhetoric or whatever, for the simple fact that he basically put out there as his campaign, as he has been in office. Where did he get this idea? To do what? He wants to get rid of the Mexicans. He wants the immigrants. We're going to call them immigrants, but we know he's talking about Mexican because he wants to build a wall. He wants to build a wall, okay? And, he called them rapists and criminals and all this other stuff. And, as if those are the only type of immigrants that comes into our country illegally. Okay, they probably the majority, but it's a whole bunch of them that come in illegally from a lot of countries. But you singled out a whole group. You singled out a whole nationality. You singled out a whole group of people. Okay, and this dumbass boy comes in here ready, prepared, premeditated. He knew what he was doing. You know what you are doing, and when you do something like this, when you drive 9 hours from one town, one city to the next city, and then you come in armored up, you got the earmuffs on, whatever, so they can protect your ears from the gun that you have. You have a AK-47. Why do you have a semi-automatic gun like that? Okay, in both these stuff, why do you have these weapons? And then you just come in and you just start going boom, 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 okay, until you're out of rounds and stuff. And then you just get peacefully and calmly arrested with no fucking fight. No fight. But in the Dayton, Ohio one, they killed his ass, which is deserved. I'm not, when you do stuff like this, you're less than human to me, okay? You don't deserve to breathe because you took away people's lives that deserve to be here. You don't know what these people's going through. You don't know their stories, and you just snatched that away from them, okay? And it's just really, really heartbreaking to see. And therefore, every time this comes up, the whole issue about gun laws comes up. Oh, it's not the guns that's doing this, it's the people. And okay, well, make it stricter ways so that we can't, so these guns can't get into the hands of these people. Okay, make it so much harder for them to get these guns. Nobody, and that's the thing where I feel like people is getting messed up and confused. No one is trying to take away your precious guns. No one is trying to take that right away from you. Everybody has the right to bear arms, but certain people do not deserve to have certain guns, okay? And why do you need semi-automatics to be out here on the street like that, okay? It needs to be tighter. It needs to be controlled. And yes, it can be tighter. It can be controlled. Just like, you know, we have these laws on drugs and stuff like that, and drugs illegally still gets put out there on the street or whatever. The same thing can happen too, but it probably would still lessen the whole thing if it wasn't so easily accessible, you know. And then when things like this happen, why is it that we always want to say mental illness? I seen that shit, mental illness, mental illness. That motherfucker wasn't no mental illness, okay? When you premeditate stuff, when you write stuff down, you know exactly what you're doing. You ain't mental, you know right from fucking wrong, okay? This is not no mental shit. You had an agenda, you went out there, you succeeded in that agenda, and you're about to pay the consequence for it, okay? It's not no mental illness. I'm not buying that bullshit. Don't put that out there. Just say what it is. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, okay? And it's domestic terrorism. It's domestic terrorism. Okay, I'm not here for it. Like, there's no excuse, and it's at this point we get on these cameras and we see the media and we tweet about it, we post about it, we talk about it, and it's like it's so much talk, including me, talk. But what is getting done? We talk so much about it and we post so much about it, and nothing is getting done because yet again we have another one that keeps happening and keeps happening. Like hours. It wasn't even 24 hours before the Dayton, Ohio one happened. You know, over that is ridiculous, okay? And I don't know at this point. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what we need to do. Okay, we can say stricter gun laws. We can say this and we can say that, but if you don't have people coming together, working on this and getting on one accord, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get anywhere. Put the party differences aside and let's come together and think about things as humans, okay? As humans. And people care so much more about money and status and elitism and classism and all this stuff. Fuck all that. Do you care about human life? Obviously you don't if you cannot come together and see and just try to work with one another just to get this issue together. Because there's so many other countries around the world that we do not hear this coming from. But yet us, we supposed to be a world power. One of the best world powers in the world. Okay? But yet we can't even get control over the shootings that happen in our country. Okay? And you can don't bring up Chicago. Don't bring up Chicago, and let's not sit here and act like Chicago is the only city in this whole country. In this whole country that has violence that happens on, you know, in its own state. In its own city, I should say. Yeah, and I'm in Chicago. I know about the violence that happens. It's unfortunate. It's messed up. I'm not here for it either. Okay? And we, once again, need to sit down and we need to talk to people and understand why is this happening. And we need to come together and come up with a good plan and have everybody agree on it. Okay? And stuff like that sounds so much easier than done. It sounds so much easier than done. And that is exactly why we are still in the same spot that we are in right now. But like I said, I'm not gonna keep going on and on about this. Y'all can put y'all comments down in the info box. I mean in the comments down below and put your opinions on it. Please be respectful to one another. This ain't no bashing nobody. Okay, if I see some mess, you're getting blocked and deleted. So don't even bother. You know, because it's not gonna be up long enough for anybody to see but me. You know, so tell me how you feel. Tell me what you think should be done. You know, I like to see and hear the opinions of everyone. But yeah, I see you guys later. Please just, you know, this is a time where you literally have to just be appreciative of the air that you breathe. Be appreciative that you woke up in the morning. Be appreciative of your family. You know, this is the time where it seriously makes you want to think like, that person that I had beef with in my family, you know, was it really worth it or whatever? Let me just go ahead and hit them up and start the conversation, and get back on the right page or whatever with them, because at this point in time, with the way shit going up in the world, you just don't know if you might see that person again the next day, if you'll have a chance to even do that. It's just so crazy. It's so crazy. But y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.